Welcome to another edition here at Jay's Jams. I figured before I get too deep into DJ skill and the DJ evaluations that I should put out what I'm using to grade the DJs with. After a lot of thought, I have decided to break it down into 5 categories. Obviously, you have to start somewhere, and that will be the beginner level. After you graduate from the beginner level, you'll move into the developing DJ level. The next plateau is the aspiring DJ. Once you have mastered everything in the aspiring DJ category, you are now an advanced DJ. And once your skills are advanced, this is where DJing becomes serious. The top tier of DJing on this scale is an elite DJ. There are very few elite DJs that you will see online. Numerically, as you can see on the chart, a beginner DJ will be from 1 to 30. A developing DJ will be from 30 to 55. An aspiring DJ is 55 to 80. And as things begin to get serious, the parameters tighten up. An advanced DJ is 80 to 90, with an elite DJ being 90 to 100. On the various platforms that we have to live stream with today, you will see a wide range of DJs. It is my experience that the majority of the DJs that you see will fall somewhere between the 50 and 65 range. And now let's deep dive into each section. I will touch on some various things that should be the minimum within each section. Again, remember, this is subjective and this is my opinion. First up is the beginner section. I will preface this with you can buy whatever controller that you desire. I will say, however, I have used all of the software available. The easiest to use is Virtual DJ. I am not saying that Virtual DJ is the best, quite the contrary. But as a beginning DJ, Virtual DJ is the easiest interface to use. Starting with the very basics, the beginner DJ. Obviously, you have to know how to connect the laptop to the controller to the audio, and make everything seamless one piece. On your laptop, you have to be able to install the DJ software. Now, whatever you choose to go with, that is not meaningful in this discussion. But as I've stated before, the easiest interface to understand is Virtual DJ. Now, once everything is installed and connected, you have to be able to open the software and find where the music is located. Now that you've located your music, now you have to be able to understand how to load a track on deck A and deck B, or 1 and 2, or 2 and 3 if it's a 4-channel controller. Once the song is loaded, how do I set a cue point? Now, how do I start and stop that track? You have to be able to understand what the headphones do. And now that you can get tracks started, you have to be able to understand how to just do a simple blend. And I would recommend using the vertical faders for this and keep the crossfader in the middle. Remembering this is not all it takes to be a beginning DJ. These are just some of the things that come to my mind. And now let's reset and move to developing DJ. I tell all of my students that one of the biggest things that you will do is organize your music. If you organize it from the beginning, it will pay dividends down the road. So I am going to put organizing your music as the number one thing in developing DJ. The importance of hot cues cannot be overstated. At this point, I am going to introduce how to utilize hot cues. As you move forward, one of the important things is the key lock function. You don't want to speed a track up and have it sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Piggybacking the key lock function will be utilizing the tempo slider, how to speed or slow up a track. When you are developing, do not be afraid to use the sync button. There are times even today that in a pinch, I will use the sync button. What this does is takes 2 tracks and it makes them the same tempo, which leads to understanding BPM, which is beats per minute, and track tempo. Let me say this, I grew up on vinyl. I started in 1980. We did not have a BPM counter like there is today. We had to literally set the stopwatch and count a track for a minute to get the actual beats per minute. Then the Technics 1200s are mechanical pieces They are not digitally driven like our decks and controllers are today. You would find a variance between your left 1200 and your right 1200. I have witnessed as much as 5 BPMs. Now, once you have your key lock and your BPMs in place, being able to do a basic beat match and a basic blend is the next skill that you should strive to achieve. And I would advise to record your practice sets and then review them. I don't know about you, but I am my own worst critic. And now we'll reset and move to aspiring DJs. Without a doubt, the number one skill that an aspiring DJ should begin to have a grasp on is harmonic mixing. As I stated, I grew up on vinyl. We didn't have anything like this at all. It was all done by ear. You mixed what sounded good to your ear. And I will go on to say, still do that today. Yes, Serato, Virtual DJ, Record Box. They all have a key indicator that populates when you load a song. Yes, utilize the Camelot wheel. The Camelot wheel is a go-to. In future videos, I'm going to dive deeper into this. Now, as you have a better understanding of the Camelot wheel, you couple that with tempo control because you understand BPM, and now you'll realize how that affects the energy on the dance floor and will allow you to progress your mixes to a whole nother level. For those who have had formal music training, you already know what phrasing is. For everyone else, you need to understand that a song does repeat itself. Most songs repeat every 16 or 32 bars. Adding to that, you will have your intro, the verse, the chorus, the outro. This is where DJ edits come into play. Most of the songs that you hear on the radio do not have built-in intros and outros. If you do utilize quick mixing, you will appreciate the DJ edits. You will dive deeper into different genres and what genres go together. And within a genre, what tracks will blend together. Not just sonically or tempo, but the tracks themselves are not a good fit. The next skill I would like to see an aspiring DJ use is looping. Looping 4, 8, and 16 bars can be advantageous to your mixing. As an inspiring DJ, you will be improving your beat matching skills. You will transition away from the sync button and be able to use the tempo slider instead. Let's face it, only using one transition technique is boring. You will lose your crowd in a hurry if you're only utilizing one type of transition. As an aspiring DJ, you will explore various mixing types, including EQ fades, cuts, filter sweeps, to make the transitions more dynamic. And the last thing that I'll mention for an aspiring DJ is the controller effects. You will begin to experiment with echoes, reverbs, delays, doubles, and the flanger. You will learn when to use what effects sparingly and not overdoing them. And now let's reset as we move into advanced DJ. As you see DJs perform online as they are live streaming, just know that there are very few that have reached this plateau. Now don't get me wrong, these DJs do perform online, but they are few and far between. The majority of these DJs will be earning a living in the bigger clubs. They are not at your local dive bar earning $150 per night. An advanced DJ achieves expertise in harmonic mixing. They understand how key changes can add energy and create impactful transitions. They are beat matching extraordinaires. As they curate their sets, they set them up for maximum energy. The looping becomes advanced. You can use rolls and you can manipulate the rolls. You are utilizing EQs to mix dynamically between frequencies. On the fly, you create your own mashups. Now, controller effects are a mainstay. You already know which ones not to overuse. High filter, low filters, and noise transitions are 3 of my favorites. events. You understand that stems are a large part of DJing today. You simply do not hit play and beat match from one song to the next and think that you are an advanced DJ. It does not matter if you are a wedding DJ, a club DJ. If you're playing out at parties, it takes years of practice and expertise to become an advanced DJ. And now we reset as we move to the elite DJ. The first thing that comes to my mind is I should have extended the advanced DJ from 80 to 95, and then the elite DJ would be 95 to 100. I would do this because there are so very few elite DJs. If you have to ask what makes an elite DJ, then you're just not comprehending DJ. Elite DJs are so smooth, they're so tight, they use effects in ways that are difficult to comprehend. This is not where you just press play and stand back and let someone else's mashup go. Elite DJs bend reality. When you're watching a DJ, maybe it's on a live stream, maybe it's at a wedding, perhaps it's in a bar. Don't be fooled by the show. Oftentimes, an aspiring DJ will have a show that is incredible. That can fool you into thinking that the DJ is something that they are not. If you're at a wedding and the DJ has the fancy furniture, the TVs, the sparklers, while those are all great extras, it do cost a great deal of money. That does not make up for their skill. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos. I am working on a video about how it's easy to be a DJ today, about the different styles of DJ. Stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in to Jay's Jams.